Boker Tov. Let me check a couple things here, and we will get started. Testing, 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 testing. Boker Tov, welcome to Agudath Israelites Ahayem Synagogue here in Montgomery, Alabama. I am Rabbi Scott Kramer. We are praying out of Siddur. Hold on one second. We are praying out of Siddur Sim Shalom, a weekday. And we begin this morning on page 6 with the Birchot HaShachar, the blessings of the morning. Please rise if you are able. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lasech v'vina lavkin ben yom u'ben laila. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shesani b'tzomaho. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shesani Yisrael. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shesani ben Chorin. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam mabisha ramim. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matihir asurim. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokal haaretz alamayim. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasa likol tzarki. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozesre b'gvura. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam otesre b'tifara. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanotein layoev koach. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Uteneinu hayom v'choyom l'chein l'ches l'rachmim menecha v'necha en v'ding malenu chasadim tovim. Baruch Ata Adonai gomer chasadim tovim le'amo Yisrael. You may be seated. We continue page 14 with Psalm 30. Mizmor shir chanukah David. Avachtem ispedi l'mochoi pitakti sachivaz ganesim chalaman yizmech vadvloidom Adonai Elohai le'elam odeka. Page 16 we rise for Baruch She'amar. Page 16. Baruch She'amar ve'yaolam Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu severeshit. Baruch Omer v'yoseh. Baruch Kozerem Kayim. Baruch Merachim al haaretz. Baruch Merachim al Habriot. Baruch Mishalem Sachar Tov L'Oreav. Baruch Chai v'Kayam LaNetzach. Baruch Podel Matzio Baruch Shemo. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Yachid Chelamim melech Mishabach v'Deshma Gadol. Baruch Adonai melech hulal batishpachot. May be seated. Page 21. Ashrei. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha odilo chasel Hashem shekach lo. Ashrei Adonai Elohav dilele David. Dilat Adonai edaber pi v'vorek ubasar shim kachol elam v'od v'nachnu nivarech yam yatav elam. Hallelujah. Middle of page 25, Psalm 150. Hallelujah, hallelujah, b'kadosh b'kiya uzo. Hallelujah, v'gvorotav alakrav gudlo. Hallelujah, b'teka shofar. Hallelujah, b'mneva v'chinor. Hallelujah, b'tofa macho. Hallelujah, b'minim v'yogav. Hallelujah, v'tziotz le'shema. Hallelujah, v'tziotz le'trua. Kol ha'neshama tahalaya. Hallelujah. Kol ha'neshama tahalaya. Hallelujah. Baruch Adonai le'olam amen v'amen. Baruch Mitzion Shechin Yerushalayim. Hallelujah. Baruch Adonai Elohim Elohei Yisrael Senif Lelevado. Baruch Shem Kavodo Li'Elohim V'Melech Chavodet et Kaaretz. Amen v'amen. Page 29. Yishtabach Shimcha Le'ad Malkeinu. Barachot vedot mirtav yad olam, Baruch atah Adonai melech gadol batishpachot, eilodot adon niflot, Avocheh b'shirei zimra, melech ocheh olamim. We rise, page 30, to begin Shacharit with the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamivorach, Baruch Adonai Varach Lilam Va'ed, Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, Yotzer Varecho Shecho Se Shalom Avarei et HaKol. You may be seated. Hameilot Velador Himelachem Barachamim V'tuv Mecho V'chadesh B'cho Yom Tamin Maaseh V'reishit. Baruch Gedol Dehaychin. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu Shavach Maseh Yadecha V'Yamareisha Siti Yefaru Chasela. Titbarach Sureinu Malkin V'Golin B'rei Kadoshim Yishtabach Shimcha Liad Malkeinu. וכולם פותחים את פיהם בקדושת תורה, בשיעור זמרה ומברכים משבחים דברים מריצים ומקדישים וממליכים את שם האל המלך הגדול גיבור בנו קדוש הוא. וכולם מקבלים עליהם המלכות שמיים זה מזה ונודרים רשות זה לזה להקדיש לעצם מנחת רוח בשפה ורבנים הקדושה, כולם כחרונים דאמרים ביראה Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvot, Melech Haaretz Kavodo, V'ofanim v'chayot HaKodesh, Parash Kadol Milatz Natzrafim, Limatam, Meshabachim v'yomarim, Baruch Adonai, Mim Komo, Baruch Adonai, Lo'el Baruch Nimhot Yiteinu. We're at the bottom, page 31. Or Chadash Shel Tzion Toiv Nizkecholan Meira La'ara Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzer HaMihorot, page 32. Avarab V'tanu Adonai Eloheinu Chemla Gedol V'dechmat Aleinu. וקרבתן שמך גדול סלע באמת להודות לך יחדך באהבה ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בימו ישראל באהבה אל מלך נאמן שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובישעריך, והיה שמו תשמעו אל מצוותי. ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת להם ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורתם ונתנו על ציצית הכנה פתיל תכלת והיה לכם לציצית Oritem hotos, chartem et kol mitzvot, Adonai v'asitem otam. V'lo tatu acharei levavchem v'acharei nechem, asher tem zonim achareihem. Leman dizgeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kadoshim leloechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etechem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, emet. Ledorvedo kayam ushmo kayam v'chisonachon malchuto v'minato le'ad kayamet. We're on the bottom, page 34, Udvar v'chaim. Emet shatahu Adonai Eloheinu v'levatenu makinu melech avotenu goelenu goel avotenu yotzenu yrshatenu podenu matzilenu me'elam shemecha ein Elohim zulatecha hizrat v'tinatahu me'olam. Page 35. Tilot le'elel yon brachum vrach Moshe uvenei eschalachan neshira b'simcha rabba v'yemachu chulam michamocha ba'ilim Adonai mikamocha neda b'kodesh norati lo tosefele שירה חדשה שיבחו גאו לשמחה שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמלכו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, צור ישראל וקומה בעזרת ישראל, ופתחנו ממך יהודה וישראל, גואלנו צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. We rise for the Amidah. For weekday Shacharit, pages 36 through 44. We begin together for the first three brachot, page 36b. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu v'Eloheinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Elohei L'Gadol, Gibor v'Hanara, Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei HaKol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot, Mevigu Elivnei v'Nehem, L'man Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Foked Mashir Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avram Mufaked Sarah, Ata Gibor Lelam Adonai, Mechaye Meitim Ata Rav Lo Shia, Mashiv HaRuach, Merida Gashem, Mechalkeo Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayei Meitim Brachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rafei Cholim U'Matir Atzurim, Makayim Monoto Le'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot U'Mido Melach, Melech Memit, Mechayim Atzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Ata L'Chayot Meitim, Baruch Ata Adonai, Mechayei HaMeitim, Nikadesh Et Shimecha Ba'olam, Kishem Shemakdishim Oto Mishmei Marom, Kakirvayad v'yecha v'kara zev yamar kadosh 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 Adonai tzvot melech haaretz kavodo limatam baruch yameru baruch Adonai mimkamo v'divrei kachcha katuv lemor yimloch Adonai lilam malaych tzin lador v'dor hallelujah lador v'dor nagid godlech netzach netzachim kedushak denakdish v'shivachacha lemipinu lo yamush lilam bohed ki yamelech kadov v'kadosh ata baruch ata Adonai Ho'el HaKadosh. We now continue with our virtual Torah service. Please rise. Page 65. Yeah. Okay. Vayi ben Saharon, Vayomer Moshe, Kumarna Yevutzoyevech, Venus Misanecha Mipanecha, Kimitzion Teitze Torah, Udavardana Mirushalayim, Baruch Shanatan Torah, Halim Ho Yisra Bikdushato, Gadlu Ladonai, Tina Ramima Shemo Yachtav, Lechod Nagdula Viagvuvat Evanetzak Vihahod, Kicho Bashamayim Va'arts Lechom Lecha, Nase Lecho Larosh, Ramim Adonai Eloheinu Vishtachav Lahadam Raglav Kadoshu, Ramim Adonai Eloheinu Vishtachav Lahar Kadosho, Ki Kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu. You may be seated. Again, we are in the third Torah portion, third portion of Genesis, the third portion of the entire Torah since Simchat Torah, since we began again 3 weeks ago. The portion this week is Lech Lecha, and as usual, we will chant the three aliyot, and with a short pause between. Then I'll give a mishaberach, or a continuation of the synopsis, and then I'll do a mishaberach. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Vayomer Adonai el Avraham lech lecha me'artzecha mimoladetecha mibeit avhicha el haaretz asher ar'eka ve'esecha legoy gadol va'avarechecha v'gadla shmecha ve'yeh bracha va'avarecha mevarechecha umkalelecha aor v'nivrechu vecha Ko mishpachot ha'adamah. Second aliyah, Genesis chapter 12, verse 4. Vayelech Avraham kasher diber elav Adonai vayelech ito lot ve'Avraham ben chamesh shanim v'shivim shanam b'tzeito mecharan vayikach Avraham et Sarah ishto v'et Lot ben achiv Viet kol rechusham asher rachashu, viet hanefesh asher asu v'charan, vayetzu lalechet arza Canaan, vayavo arza Canaan, v'yavor Avram ba'aretz ad mekom Shechem, ad Elon Moreh, v'haknani oz ba'aretz. Vayera Adonai el Avram vayomer lezaracha eten et aretz hazot vayiven sham mizbeach l'Adonai hanireh elav vayetehek misham ha'ara mikedem leveit el v'yet oholo abeit el mi'am v'ai mikedem Vayiven sham mizbech l'Adonai vayikra b'shem Adonai vayisa Avram haloch v'nasoa ha'negba. The third and final aliyah, Genesis chapter 12, verse 10. Vayihira ba'aretz vayered Avram Mitzrayim elagor sham ki chaved ha'ara'a ba'aretz Vayehi kasher ikriv lavo Mitzrayim vayomer el Sarai ishto Ahinena yadati ki isha yifat mareh at ויקירו אותך המצרים, ויאמרו אשתו זאת, והרגו אותי ואותך יחיו. אמרי נח אותי את, למען ייטב לי בעבורך, וחייתה נפשי בגללך. One day I began the synopsis of Lech Lecha. I will continue that synopsis. To Abe, it must have seemed strange indeed that God would speak about his seed. Abe was by then well into his 80s, and for begetting that kind of late is. Again, he heard the Holy One proclaim, "You soon will have a son, more numerous than the stars on high will be your descendants, and I who took you out of the Chaldees, where flows the river Euphrates, will give this land to your offspring for them to be inheriting." Now Abe's wife Sarai, she was barren, all hope of motherhood despairing. Her handmaid Hagar, she was willing to sleep with Abe, to make some chillin'. It was the custom in those times for men to bed their concubines. So Abe knew Hagar and knew her well, and soon along came Ishmael. Abe was 86 at the time, and apparently still in his prime. Ishmael, father of the Arab nation, caused Abe and Sarai much consternation. Hagar fled her mistress' wrath, but God tells her to go on back. Your son, whose name means God will hear, one day by millions will be revered. 4 years later, when Abe was 90, God again appeared. I am God Almighty. My covenant will I make with thee and multiply thee exceedingly. Your name till now has been Abram. It's hereby changed to Avraham, which means father of multitudes, of Christians, Muslims, and of Jews. Kings will issue from your progeny, and they'll be strong enough to dislodge any squatters on this holy land, which one day will be in your hands. One more little thing did God devise. All your sons shall ye circumcise. At age 8 days, that's what ye shall do, to keep the covenant twixt me and you. Sarai also gets her name changed, or by one letter rearranged. Her new name, Sarah, means princess. She with a son will I soon bless. Kings of peoples will come from her. Abe had to laugh when this he heard, for Sarah was 90 and way past fertility. Having her kids now was beyond credibility. God reaffirms that Sarah will bear a son named Isaac, who will answer their prayer. Ishmael too will I make great, the father of many a potentate. Then God ended the conversation and left Abe to contemplate his situation. The Sedra ends with Abraham circumcising himself at age 99, which must have been agonizing. He did his whole household, including his son, and with all that cutting, the Sedra is done. Now offer a Mishaberach, a blessing for physical, spiritual, emotional healing for all those in and out of our community in need of this blessing. Mishaberach Avotenu Avram Yitzchak V'Yaakov Sof Korach V'Leah Hu Yivarech V'Rapeh Et. Terry Aronov, Helen Byrne, Rhonda Blitz, Bruch Ben Elisheva, Arnold Fast, Sheila Guidry, Chana Batzar, Linda Smith, Marjorie Allen, Charles Miller, Sherry Russ, Iris Pat Rivka, Becca Martinez, Isaac Ben Joseph, Mike Golson, Marsha Orange, Elisheva Bat Sarah, Harab Malki Tzedek Ben Barucha, Jerry Weisenfeld, Gabe Booley, Jeannie Miser, Miriam Patina, Tara Martinez Fernandez, Liz Wolko, Deanna Barber, Miriam Butt Rivka, Teraz Butt Ruth, Mark Platnick, Malone, Jermaine Barnes, Virginia Madden, Renee and Maddie Raminga, Raymond Labato Jr., Natalie Copeland, Christopher Hill, Ed Jackman, Colton Gower, Scott Decker, Terry Raminga, Bela Basrivik, William Williams, Marilyn Fadomsky, Benjamin Ben Miriam, Wayne Knox, Jack Pollockar, Jim Mittenswy, Lucy Antilli, Colwell, Rachel Manning, Vinnie Marnstein, Todd Bapp, Eugene Labato, Michelle Zucker, Ora Simcha, Devorah Batina, and Dana Driscoll. Viet Kolachim Bikila, Kudusha, Agudath Israel, Tzachai Vikila, Temple Beth Or, Kaddish Bochim Alei Rachamim Aleichem, Lachazim Chapatam Vishlachlim Erforshlim, Menashamat Venavish Vutaguf, Betoch Shachole Israel Vachazek Ideaskin, Betzarchehem, Hashtabegalav Isman Kariv, Venomar, Amen. I wish everyone a refuah shlema, a quick and a complete healing from all of your suffering. We now return the virtual Sefer Torah, page 76. Hallelu Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado, hodo al eretz v'shamayim v'yihon kalayamot, ilalocho chasidav, lifnei esram kavo, hallelujah, lidavid mizmor, l'Adonai ha'ot m'lam, tevel v'yoshveva. Uvnucho Yomar, page 77. Ki lekach tov natati lachem et torati al tazovu et chayimi l'machazikim ba v'tomcheha meushar derachea darchei noham V'chol netivoteha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kikedem. You may be seated. We're on page 78. Ashrayosh ve'veitech. Tilat Adonai deber pi v'voreko b'ser shimka tchilelam v'od v'nachne nevarech yemei tavilam. Hallelujah. Lam natzech mizmor leDavid. Adonai shemech yinenu v'yom koreinu, page 80. Uveletzion goelo shefesh yabikuvnum Adonai. V'yeta kadosh yoshev led yischa v'kazaz avim har kadosh 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 Adonai tzvot melech haaretz kavodo. V'tiser ruach v'shma chorai korash kado baruch Adonai mimkomo. Adonai melech lilam v'hid. Page 81. Shnishma chokecha b'lam hazavnim. Vayivtechu v'cho yedei shmechi k'lov d'shech Adonai. Adonach v'tzmantzid go yagdi Torah aviyadi. Here we rise as the ark is open once again for Aleinu, page 83. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים משפח אבים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. גגדו בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו Echad. Those observing Yahrzeit and those who mourn, please rise, page 84, and join me with the Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, b'yoma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayichon v'yamechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'galav izman kariv imahu amen, Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei d'kudisha b'richu, le'lam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran b'yoma v'imahu amen, Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imahu amen. Oseh shalom dimrabav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imahu amen. Page 89, we conclude our service with the psalm for Thursday. On the fifth day of the week, the Levites recited the psalm in the temple. For the leader upon the Gittit, a psalm of Asaph, sing with joy to God our strength, shout with gladness to the God of Jacob. Strike up a melody, sound the timbrel, play sweet tones on harp and lyre, sound the shofar on the new moon, and again on the full moon for our festival days. It is the law for the people of Israel, a statute of the God of Jacob. God ordained it for Joseph's descendants when he rose against the land of Egypt. I have heard the speech that I had previously ignored. I removed the burden from their shoulders. Their hands were freed from the load. When you called out in distress, I rescued you. Unseen, I answered you in thunder. I tested your faith at an oasis in the wilderness. Hear this warning, my people Israel, if you would only listen. There shall be no strange God in your midst. You shall not worship an alien God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you up out of Egypt. Open your mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people did not listen. Israel would have none of me. So I let them persist in their stubbornness. I let them know their own inclination. I let them follow their own inclinations. If only my people would listen to me. If only Israel would walk in my ways. How quickly I would subdue their foes and strike out at their oppressors. Enemies of Adonai shall be humbled. Their downfall shall be unending. But you I will feed with the richest of wheat. With honey from a rock I will satisfy you. And with that, I wish everyone a Boker Tov, a rest of a good Vacht, a good week. We will be back tomorrow evening for Kabbalat Shabbat at 6 p.m. and of course Shabbat morning at 9:30 a.m. Havdalah this Saturday night to end Shabbat at 7 p.m. And I wish everyone a peaceful rest of day and week. Boker Tov.